All right, what's up, Bomb Squatters? Welcome to another video here, and today we have a special one because, well, we're getting back to Pioneer, which is something I've wanted to do for quite a while, but I've had so much focus on Modern, with all the SCGs being focused on Modern, as well as just all the tournaments I've been getting ready for have been Modern, but finally we're back to what was my favorite format when I was really in it. You know, when I was really just playing it for fun. This is the format that I love the most. Now, that's not saying Modern I dislike by any means. Still an amazing format. Both of them I love, and both of them are what I truly define Magic as right now. Until we get Streets of New Capenna, then, I think Standard, Historic are going to get a boost. Hopefully they become that next level, next echelon style format as well. So, all right, so taking a look at this concoction, I am going to, over the next couple days, I'm going to be trying to post a YouTube video every single day focusing on Pioneer. We're going to be focusing on Pioneer until Streets of New Capenna come out because, well, the set, of course, will have some good cards that will influence the format. It won't completely reshape everything. So if we get a baseline, kind of feel for what Pioneer is, once Streets of New Capenna out, we can just slot cards in to decks that we think are going to be good and prepare us for this next Pro Tour season that, I want to play in these local qualifiers. I'm sure you do as well, because paper Pro Tours, I mean, come on. That's what Magic's all about. That's what we can't wait to get back to, whether I'm commentating, playing. Even if I don't get any of those opportunities, I will be there at that first Pro Tour doing something. I'll be birding my brother if it comes down to that. I don't care. I will be there for the Pro Tour's return. I was at the last Pro Tour where Andrew Ellenbogen won. I'll be at the first one back post this COVID world. Well, not post, but after coming back into the paper world. So, look at this deck. We are going to be starting with kind of the more memey decks. I kind of want to start with something I've really been wanting to play for a while, and this deck easily could be more than a meme. It top 8'd a challenge, so right there, it already had success. It just looks like a meme because it's so all over the place. These kind of sorcery speed, planeswalker, haymaker decks never really end up being the best deck of the format because, well, they're easy to disrupt, right? You have a sideboard full of 4 disdainful strokes. We're not going to win, so there are cards you can play to beat this style of Super Friends deck. So let's start going through everything. As far as the mana base goes, here's the main one to talk about. We have Interplanar Beacon. This just allows you to gain some life when you're casting these Planeswalkers, which is very much going to help against these aggressive matchups, as well as just fixes your mana base when you're casting these Planeswalkers. We have a bunch of Triomes, a bunch of dual lands, and we have a couple of our kind of special channel lands in Otawara and Senzuxin. I'm sure, I nail these card names every single time. Then let's get to some of the rest of the cards. Expressive Iteration. Honestly, this is a card I haven't played in a long time, and it's a shame because it's one of my favorite cards. It's one of the cards that's given me the most success. My biggest win, SCG Invitational back there, was my biggest win, $20,000 up top. I haven't had a success like that, and I was playing 8 of this card. It was Standard and Modern, Grixis Death Shadow, as well as Izzet. God, what was this deck called? Izzet Turns, I guess? Whatever. Alrund's Epiphany, Galvanic Iteration. Whew. That deck was nice, let me tell you. So, getting back to Expressive Iteration, one of the best Magic cards ever printed, is something I'm very happy to do. Fae of Wishes is a nice little split card. It's this decent 2-drop where you can play a 1/4 body and actually protect some of your Planeswalkers. Or, when you have Fires of Invention out, you can Granted for a slew of cards that we're going to talk about later, and then cast that card the same turn. So, really powerful interaction and a really versatile card. Let's talk about a new one. We had Fable the Mirror Breaker with Reflection of Kiki Jiki on the other side. This card's awesome. This card is one of the best cards from Crimson Vow. Just being able to put a already 3-mana 2/2 when it attacks, gain a treasure. Right there. That's a card. That's a card. Probably wouldn't see all the play, but that's a card that is viable. But the fact that now we go to Chapter 2, draw and discard, which finds your Fires of Inventions. And then Chapter 3, which goes to a creature where you can, you know, copy something. That's not going to be the biggest deal. But one thing that I have in mind for an idea of this card already and this deck, I want to try it like this and see how I like it. But I don't think Fable the Mirror Breaker is being utilized at its max capacity right now. What I really want to do is I want to make this a Yorion deck, add some cards. It wouldn't be that hard to add some omens, you know, add a couple more planeswalkers that are one-ofs here, add maybe a little bit, maybe Omen of the Fire, a little bit more removal. And then when you play Yorion on turn 5, you can then, you know, if you've set up Fable where it's flipped to the other side, you can at end step copy Yorion, keep the original, and start a loop, you know, a kind of Charming Prince loop. So that's something I'm going to be looking at if this deck has legs, but I think that's something that's really not being utilized in these style of decks. We got 3 Angers and 1 more Anger in the sideboard to clear up Phoenixes. All these aggressive decks going to have plenty of utilization here, even great against Winota, cutting off all the legs besides Winota itself. One of the best removal spells. One of the best mass removal spells. We also have Supreme Verdict, which is big, but Anger is really good right now, as far as the data I've been watching. Like I said, this is kind of our start back into it. The last time I played Pioneer, I was playing Mono Green Devotion, and I top-8'd a challenge, and then I had to switch to Modern, and kind of had to end it there. You know, so trust me, we'll be picking up Mono Green Devotion a little later, because, you know, I don't think I'm giving up on my baby that easily. We got 4 Narset Parter of Veil, another one of my favorite cards. I know people hate this card, but I love it. I love Narset. It's so fun. As well as very good against Phoenix, other good blue decks. Fires of Invention, we are a Fires deck, and now the other Fires of Invention deck is the Luca Fires, so eventually we'll be trying that as well, but the Luca Fires deck, I'm not as high on anymore, and for people that have followed my Magic journey, you'd be kind of surprised because, well, that was one of my favorite decks. I truly do love that deck, but there's no big things to take right now. Pioneer is just kind of fast, or it's combo. It's not like Niv-Mizzet was dominating the format where Jeskai Luca obliterated that deck. Obliterated it. And if there were bigger things like that, maybe we'd be doing some Luca stuff. But here, a mass amount of Planeswalkers actually seems like a better recipe for success. And then we're going to talk about a bunch of random Planeswalkers. And the reason why there's so many random ones, I'm like, there's no way this could be right. Right when I saw this deck list, I was like, there's got to be some of these Planeswalkers that are better. And while that's true, Fires of Invention is all about those completely overwhelming turns. And to make an overwhelming turn, if your 2 5-drops that you want to cast are both Nicol Bolas, it's not as good. So you want to always have a different card you can cast, and that's why we're spreading it out between all of these powerful Planeswalkers. Wandering Emperor, Nicol Bolas, Teferi, Kenrith, Elspeth, Chandra, Nicol Bolas, God Pharaoh, and then a couple Shark Typhoons that help the cause as well. Casting Shark Typhoon, then casting a 6-mana Planeswalker. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Then we're going to talk about some of the Fae of Wishes targets. It's going to be a lot of randomness, but they all serve a lot of purpose. Farewell, when you really need to deal with a lot of problems. Rest in Peace is a card that we'll actually bring in, just against other graveyard decks. Maybe only one, if we want to have another one. Thought Distortion against Control. Chandra for Control. Anger and Supreme Verdict for aggro. Merciless Eviction, I'm reading for the first time right now. Yeah, this is just basically Farewell, huh? Oh, except it hits Planeswalkers. Yeah, okay. All right, when you need to deal with other Planeswalkers. Slaughter Games for combo. Casualties of War, when you just really want to, like, kind of press your advantage. Ruinous Ultimatum, when you're very behind. I mean, I guess this is just Plague Wind, too. Like, behind, you want to close the game, a lot of things there. And then your anti-combo cards. These come in a lot because, well, this just screams, that's not a great matchup. And then 1 Cage as well for Phoenix and stuff like that. So, all right, let's play some 5-color Planeswalkers. All right, everyone, let's do some Pioneer gaming here. I am pumped. I am absolutely pumped to get back to this format, as long as it treats me well, of course. All right, so we have iteration to help us find some lands and maybe find a 4-drop, as well as have fires. So that's pretty much enough of the recipe for success. I could easily see us just cycling Shark Typhoon on 2 to make sure we hit a land drop, because turn 3 we're going to be iterating, but we'll figure that out based on what we draw. If we top deck a land, we might just go tap land and say go. All right. I am really excited, y'all. I'm usually excited for things. Y'all know that's just kind of who I am. But I'm really excited to get back to Pioneer, even without new cards. So from here on out, getting just Pioneer into new card Magic, even if it's new standard or historic, which isn't necessarily my favorite, but with new cards, it brings that invigorative life back into the format for me for at least the first month and a half. And that's kind of as long as I have to test for it with the Pro Tour and New Capenna. So an exciting time for Magic here for the next 2 months for me. Okay. That was kind of what I wanted, and I don't think it's worth it to take unnecessary damage against what I'm guessing is just a mono red deck. So yeah, also, you know, help me out in the comments, as well as don't make fun of me in the comments for not knowing every single deck when it comes to Pioneer, because, well, you know, I'm getting back into it. I haven't studied everything. I just really wanted to jump in. Of course, I'm kind of figuring out that this is mono red aggro. You know, I know this is some high level stuff I'm doing here. Anger? Okay, so blue, red. We could actually cycle a Shark Typhoon for 1, but I want to find a Wrath. Okay, well, I want to get Fae of Wishes into my hand. This might be tough. Fae of Wishes into my hand, and then Cliff Trop Retreat here, and then we'll say go. There is a chance we might have to go fires into just Fae instead of what we'd really want to do, fire into Granted, because, well, this is a shitload of damage. Okay. If it's likely we're dead with just like 1 spell next turn, we'll have to play Fae, and then we still might be dead. 5, 6, 7. So this is what? 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't think we have a choice here. And honestly, we have a decent out if we can survive with this Fae. We can play King Ken. Fae of Wishes. We can play King Ken next turn and gain life. You know, that's not the best play because it's only 1 play, but let's see if we can even survive. All right, might as well block the Prowess creature. This way we still die to another Lightning Strike. And not much we can do here. Hey, I don't think we died to Stomp. Okay, they're just showing off. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, welcome back to Pioneer. 1 quick absolute beating. All right, well, this style of deck shouldn't be so bad for us, but we will find out. I'm going to bring in the other Anger. And you got to very strategically sideboard with this deck, I'll tell you that. Shark Typhoon doesn't seem amazing to me. And the other Verdict is a good card, but I do like having at least 1 Wrath in the board. But what if we just have a 5-drop Wrath, which we don't really have. So I do think we need the Supreme Verdict there to be able to grant it for. Then we'll just take out a Narset. Can't sideboard a ton with this deck. And this, you know, this sideboard plan screams that we should beat this style of deck, but that may not be true. It could be a matchup that we're trying to ignore. You know, Interplanar Beacon is a good help when it comes to this. I think we'll keep, but it's kind of troublesome. I'm going to get rid of Nicol Bolas. We got to keep. Got to keep, because if we draw land, this is actually pretty good. And if we don't, we're going to die on the spot, I imagine. So we'll keep. We'll get rid of Nicol Bolas. And I guess if we top deck a bunch of Interplanar Beacons, it's better to play this first. So small margin just in case, but then we'd gain 3 life instead of 2 if we played Narset on turn 3. This deck is slow out of the gate, though, so that is the problem of it. No 1-drop we like. But it doesn't matter if we don't get a land. I still stand by the keep. We're already on 6. If we were on 7, we could consider mulliganing again, but... Okay. Bang. We'll take it. We'll take it. Not amazing. And in fact, the worst of the lands, but it's still a land, so it's still a good draw. All right. Now we are hoping to... Jesus. Wow. Okay. Well, now we have one choice, really. I mean, we could... Now we do have 2 choices. We can go Fires into Verdict and non-creature spell. Well, it does have us only taking 2 more damage, but we get a Fires in play because we don't take any Eidolon damage. So we go to 12. All right. And then we keep Fire. And then we have Fires in play. Yeah, this seems better. God, that's a messed up card against us. Holy crap. How have I never seen that magic card? I hate it, though. I'll tell you that. All right. Blow them up. All right. Now we get to kind of do some things next turn. Hopefully. Okay. All right, that was a decent draw. So we're going to start with this. Gain some life. And these are the spots where we should win when we're at 15 life. We have some good stuff going on. Now it's Expressive Iteration or Big Old Bad... Oh, that's the 5-mana Nicol Bolas. I think I'm going to play that one. Could tick up. Because then they exiles a card from their hand. So they could exile a card from their hand. That's kind of a problem. Or I could destroy Bone Crusher Giant. But then Den of the Bugbear gets to clean up both walkers. That's bad. So what if I went Fable the Mirror Breaker instead? That at least stops the line of Den. And it lets us draw some cards even though our hand is kind of good already. Forces them to have a land, which is not that hard, though. And we would be at 16, but then our battlefield is pretty much clear. Or we tick this up. They'll probably discard a card. It goes to 5, and then they can den down both creatures. Like, that's still not good. So, Nicol Bolas is the better of the card, but it is not what we want to be doing right now. I guess we could technically Narset with this. Yeah, I think we take Nicol Bolas, but we don't play it. And, yeah, and then I think we do this. Then we probably are just going to block with it. See, here's where I would love Yorion. You know, I'd be able to buy Yorion as well and be able to blink these things out. And here's that extra push that Yorion adds. And it's not even that much inconsistency, so... That's something I'm really going to be trying to get. I'm even going to write myself a note now because I want to really be pursuing ideas with Pioneer. 5-color walkers with Yorion. So if you're excited for that, you know, hit the subscribe button because that'll be coming in a future video. All right, so Narset stays on the battlefield at least. I actually can't activate that, so I will discard it. Get a redraw. Just that, though. My other cards are good. Okay. Can't cast that quite yet, but I can Anger plus Nicol Bolas. And Nicol Bolas ticking up seems very good. So let's do this. Gain life, gain life. I will draw a card. Oh, no, 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 no. They're going to sack a creature, I bet. I should have Wrath first. Okay, good. Cast this, and we'll say go. Now we'll be getting a creature off Fable the Mirror Breaker next turn, which, it's a blocker. And this game feels very good, yeah. Now, up against them on the draw, where we just don't do anything until turn 3, just feels like a completely... you know, just unwinnable kind of situation. Like, this just feels like we need more early removal and we just do not have it. But maybe this is more, and I mean, I have seen more chonky red lists, just a lot slower. This one feels a lot faster than most, so maybe we're just kind of running into a little bit of variance. But yeah, I mean, we're really going to be relying on Anger the Gods on turn 3. Just have it every single game. Otherwise, we might just be completely dead. But let's give it a shot. Well, we got him. But we got no lands. I'll mulligan. Okay. I mean, we'll keep. But it's not very good. We'll get rid of this 7-drop. Not very good as in it does not have Anger, which is a problem. And they didn't mulligan. Okay, that was actually strong. We'll probably need to play that. And then we can Expressive Iteration on turn 3 and then fires. I mean, that's a plan. That's a bit of a tilt right there. Okay. We truly do have a plan now. Alright, cast Fae. And if we draw a land, we could just cycle Shark Typhoon as well to prevent damage and not cast this till later. That's not good. That is not good. That's a Pestering card. Okay. I will take an Anger. That would be pretty good. It's like Anger a land would have been good. All right. Instead, we're going to say go. We're going to cycle a Shark and try to kill Eidolon. Even though we don't have the land, it's still better because we can actually deal with a creature. Okay. That does nothing, right? Or no, you can play that. Okay. Okay, so that tells me that their hand is not that good, at least. But that's an annoying card. All right, let's cycle this. Hope it works. Totally did. It worked as in we got a land. That's good. Okay. So that will kill all our creatures. Which, that's reasonable because I think we just have to Wrath anyways, which is not great, but, oh, worst possible. Fires, Verdict. Just have to. You know, if they animate Den, we're just too far behind. But now we have to figure out what the hell we're going to do now, and it's very unclear. Starting with Iteration, have to hit something big. Even Elspeth is not very good, so we might be starting our Pioneer Journey 01 Bomb Squad. Pretty good, too. That one will hit us. Okay. If they don't have a land, I guess it won't. Yikes. Okay. So no gaining life for us now. That's a problem. All right. Instead, we'll lose life. And we got nothing. We got nothing. Well, this to hand, this here. Put this into play. Taking 6. Yeah, they got us dead. All right. Let's play the next one. That's a sad start. All right, y'all. We're going to get this one. I believe in us. Okay. Let's start. We have fires. We have some way to cycle. Our mana base is okay. Even though the mana base on this deck is kind of a pile, I'm starting to notice. But, yeah, let's get it running. There's just so many, like, mana confluences, Gyre Sanctum, or whatever that card is called. And, you know, just really ambitious lands is what I'm noticing so far. Okay, I don't think we're going to cycle just for one, so we'll just put this into play tapped. Then we'll say go. Try to resolve our fires is going to be our main thing, but cycle some of these sharks is completely fine too. All right, we up against an Izzet strategy. Not very good against our Anger the Gods. That will be helpful. So we'll say go. And more than likely we'll just be trying to fires and verdict next turn, depending on how ham they go with this thing in the garbage. Okay, that's ham enough because it is going to get large. There's a coast. They should have a lot of dead removal in their deck game one at least. But who knows? This still might be a roughish matchup, but I actually think this one could be okay. Because it seems like good game one should be in our favor. And then we just kind of rest in peace them to death. Okay, that's really good as well. So let's cast fires. And now it is, do we want a verdict or do we want an Narset? Narset they can just attack down. So let's just get rid of these creatures. Definitely should have attacked for one though. That was a mistake. You know, to be fair, our deck is not the deck that wins in inches though, I'll tell you that. We win in miles. But of course, it's still a mistake. No excuse for it. Except I just made one. All right, then we'll say go. All right, what do we got? Crackling Drake is kind of punishing. Okay, Narset of their own. Not that big of a deal for us. Narset into Narset. Okay. So now we get to Narset. Into hopefully something good and cycle Shark Typhoon. Like, that's where this deck gets kind of nutty. Is like, you get to go this, into this, into a Shark. Which definitely puts us ahead of them just playing, you know, their normal Narset plan. But they are probably going to kill our Narset. Yeah, at least put it down. That is not killing it, though, which is good. Here's another scenario where Yorion would have just been great, though. Like, I would have went Narset, bought Yorion, and I could have played Yorion and reset it. Or I get this going, and then next turn I reset Yorion with a really big one. So, I don't know. I'm just very much all about trying Narset in this deck. All right, so now they can cruise. But then we do get to... okay. Unfortunately, though, we cannot Fable the Mirror Breaker. Because Narset shuts that down pretty badly. And yeah, they just go to 7 cards now. I'm starting to think this deck's a meme, y'all. Starting to think we might be playing a meme. Because if we can't beat the extremes of a hyper-aggressive deck and we also can't beat Phoenix, that's a problem. So we might stop the video after this if we lose because, well, we figured out that this is not the deck we want to be focusing on, or it's the deck we want to be focusing on, but it's with, yeah, so let's not do this. And now we're not going to be able to do anything here. But the deck we want to be focusing on is just a Yorion version, which actually seems sweet. Okay, so let's get that out of there. And now we only have a sad play. Ah, I should have held that. Dang it. I should have held that, and I was about to play this, but let's hold that to discard. And we'll say go. And we are ahead on board, but they have 7 cards, so that's bad. Especially if they play that other Narset, then we're really in some trouble. Fable the Mirror Breaker just feels out of place to me unless we had Yorion, you know? Okay, I'm glad that they did not play Narset. That would have seemed worse for me than this. Yeah, we could play some more Sharks too. Honestly, we could probably play a Zika's Chariot then and just turn it into basically the Luca Fires deck. But you know, just play Planeswalkers and Chariot instead. Like, all right, I'm vibing with this Yorion deck, so be on the lookout. Probably not our next video, but it's gonna come. All right, so okay, well, that's a real card. So let's get rid of our 2 cards. Boink, boink. Okay. Now we're going to be doing things. So let's check out our sideboard. Let's see our options. We have 6 mana, so all 6 drops. Casualties of War stands out to me. This is a 7 drop. We could Farewell, but that hits our creatures. Casualties of War seems like the slam dunk for me. All right. All right. Maybe as we talk trash, now we're going to do some really cool stuff. All right, granted. Casualties. Fires. Creature. Land. That's really all we're doing. I mean, it's nothing great, but... Cast. Creature. Land. Might kill our shark, I guess. Yep. Once again, maybe I guess we should have attacked. I think they would have done that anyways, but of course, still playing tight. All right, now we'll say go. Now we're going to try to be proactive. Maybe we should have Chandra'd there. Yeah, all we did was trade a land for a powerful Planeswalker. So yeah, maybe we should have, but we'll see, we'll see. Treasure Cruise. Yeah. They be cruising. So depending if they tap out, which I doubt, then we might be able to like Wandering Emperor, pump, kill Narset. Okay. Okay. So we can grant it again. Could grant it for Thought Distortion here. That seems good. Okay. It's the time. We had to get rid of Thing there, so it made sense at the time. But now if we just Thought Distortion them, then we're really starting over here. Okay, okay. Maybe our deck is cool. Maybe I was jumping too fast to conclusions. It is pretty cute, too, that you can grant it for something that exiles your enchantment and then play another thing. Not something we're going to do this turn, but yes, I would. Thought Distortion, cast it, hit ya. Yeah, get him out of there. Oh, yeah, I guess it doesn't hit everything, does it? It leaves him with lands. Yeah, that's not as great. I kind of thought it was exile everything, but that's okay. Still leaves them pretty stranded. They do have a hole, which is kind of annoying. But we can Wandering Emperor this away. They top deck to spell. All right, so they're chaining stuff off. Gonna discard one of these. All right, well, they're definitely doing things. Okay, that's all okay. Jesus. So we can kill this and then kill Narset. So we know that's the 3 cards in their hand. Now they have a 4th mystery card. Didn't even play Hall, though. That's great for us. Okay, so now I think it's this to kill this and then attack that. And what else would we want to play? Maybe a Phase so we can do this again. Could discard these 2 cards. Yeah, I actually kind of like it. Cast this with fires, gain a life. Exile this. Now it's expressive or just a Fae. Alright, we'll cast a Fae. Now we can discard these 2 cards if we want. Alright, now we've successfully controlled them. But Phoenix just never stops. And I think this is that new Izzet deck that doesn't play Arclight Phoenix. So they just play a normal controlling game. Coast. So now we can return Fae, get rid of 2 cards, and we could next turn cast Chandra. Chandra seems pretty tough for them to deal with. Four damage to this, 3 damage to a Planeswalker. Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm. Not playing the land, huh? Well, I think I'm going to do it. If we're getting set up here, then I guess we are. I don't know why I paid so much mana for that. It's only 2. Thought it was 4. And we just draw it anyways. Okay, well. Well, let's cast this. Start them with a counter, and then we could Granted now. But, like, we don't know exactly what we want. Could Granted for Farewell. No, I'm just going to play this. Say go. Chandra, hope Chandra's big game enough. All right. Yeah, I'm really excited for this Yorion build, though. Just to be a little more interactive, be a little bit more powerful. Like, I can't imagine us ever beating a Winota deck with this style of deck, you know? Okay. They're just going to run out of cards. But I bet they do have Galvanic and Temporal Trespassing, though, which is a problem. Okay, there's a thing. Okay. And there's the hall, finally. Don't care much about that. So let's Granted. Could rest in peace. That doesn't really solve our thing problem, though. Could Farewell and deal with creatures and artifacts. Creatures and graveyards, I mean. Then they're free to reign with the hall. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Yeah, I think it's our best play. All right. So let's attack. We can actually take out our enchantment as well. Yeah, that's actually a good play. Because we're kind of out of gas anyways. So let's play our free spell. Let's give him another emblem. Cast off fires. Creatures, enchantments, graveyards. No artifacts in sight. Fare thee well. Alright, then we'll cast some more spells. Alright, one more Fae. Then we'll say go. We missed an attack earlier, so they should be at 13, which might come back to bite us here, but we'll find out. Alright, there's a couple more points. And now we'll see what they can do. Niv-Mizzet. Well, that's probably a thing. That is probably a thing. They play Niv-Mizzet now, huh? God, I love Niv-Mizzet. I really do. Okay. I'm scared. Okay. Less scared now. But dang, they've switched to Niv-Mizzet. Yikes. Okay, well, Rest in Peace is going to be a card against them. Yeah, Pioneer's just looking different, you know? It's really looking a lot different, so we have to really play accordingly. Could play this other Chandra in the main. It seems strong. We want at least one Wrath in the sideboard. And yeah, I think that's the only changes we want. But yeah, that Niv-Mizzet deck looks awesome too. I am a sucker for Niv-Mizzet Perun. This is reasonable. Exactly reasonable. Okay, these lands are pretty nice with fires as well, now that I think about it. Just another thing you can do with your mana. But man, is this mana base greedy. Yeah, I think we're going to make some drastic changes. Okay. Well. A little awkward, but I think getting down Rest in Peace is a strong play. But we do have to deal with this card. But the Wandering Emperor does a good job. Young Peasy. Okay. I think we'll just play this and say go. This is going to overload our Wraths. Now that there's Young Pyromancer, and maybe make us regret taking out all these Angers. Yeah, the mana base is just too greedy. And yeah, I think instead of black mana for some of the Planeswalkers, I just want to be a Fires deck that still plays Fae, but plays Chariot in that spot. Okay, so there is Fae. We could cast this. Depending on what they do, we're either going to cast that or Wandering Emperor here. If we can kill a Young Pyromancer with that, it seems pretty good. Oh yeah, they're probably down to counter spells. Okay. And they probably took out some removal, so this could actually be perfect. Hiya. I've blocked with this card more than anything. I could double block the Pyromancer if they have one removal spell, but if they don't have it, you look pretty silly, so YOLO. Okay. I do think they have a counter spell, though, for what it's worth. So we're going to try to get him with the old Wandering Emperor and then untap and cast something important. Yeah, I think they have one, maybe two counter spells. Well, they're not having it this time, but this time we did not have that kind of play, but we will try to play the Wandering Emperor. Dispute, eh? So I bet they have multiples of those. So if we can go land and slam Elspeth's Sun's Champion, it seems good-ish. But the problem is they'll just flip Thing. So we can't do that anyways. Well, guess we'll start with this. Okay, that was good. That was all good. That was so good. Okay. So, yeah, what? Okay, we get to do it all. That was awesome. White, blue, colorless. Boom! Drop the Verdict Hammer. Your turn. And now, if they go Niv-Mizzet, we have Elspeth to deal with it. And I think they are. Nope, Narset. Still good. Okay, if they're doing something else, we'll just drop the hammer. What the fuck was that? Oh my god. That was disgusting. That's a combination. What the hell? Wow, we got rocked. That sucks. Wow. Collective Defiance, huh? That's a magic card. Alright, well that ruined our whole day. Yep. Well, I guess we have this to do some searching, but it also helps them. That was a huge tilt. Our opponent's list is pretty cool, I'll tell them that. Cool. Cool. Is there even any point to play it? Not really. It's kind of a tilting match. It's kind of a tilting start to Pioneer, I'm not gonna lie. Is it just complete? I mean, to be fair, it's just players outplaying us and having tech. AKA they are, you know, they are just straight playing on a different level because, well, we're playing on level 1. And we're playing a meme, for what it's worth. But, yeah, this is a rough start. Okay, that's a magic card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I play this, I can't get disputed. And then maybe there's a chance I can tuck this away. Alright, here's a Teferi. Okay. Gotta get rid of Niv. Yikes. Even that is a blowout. But it's not like Teferi ticking up really does anything. Man, Niv-Mizzet is a hell of a magic card. I'm a fan. Alright, we'll play this. Try to pressure Narset with it, but really not that strong up against this deck, I must say. And they have 5 cards. I'm sure some of them are like treasure cruises, but they're even getting close to just 8 mana draw 3 being okay. Like, even if they did that this turn and then Niv next turn, it seems kind of fine. Yeah, or they just play Niv. Well, we're probably one draw step away from conceding. Yep. Yep. Yikes. All right. We'll give this one up. Well, is there any real changes we can make? Like, almost not really. We need to resolve fires and try to do our best that way, but maybe one rest in peace is not that good. And maybe we just want all the verdicts in our deck that we can. Because if we get to fires and Fae, we have other cards that we can search for. All right. Kind of the coward's way out, but... Man, our hands have just been so awkward. This one's okay because we can cycle and hopefully hit a 3-drop. But yeah, I'm kind of just thinking our first deck we picked, which caught my eye, is probably just a meme, y'all. But damn it if I'm still posting this video because we're having fun. They can't all be winners. Until we, of course, miraculously win this game. Okay, good start. Draw a card we can not cast anywhere near. Okay, please give me a land. Please. Okay, I should have been more specific. Land. Untap land. I guess this does allow me to play Fable the Mirror Breaker, which I think is okay if they don't have a removal spell. Yeah, let's do it. That way we can at least do something next turn. We can still Narset next turn if we get to attack with that Shaman. And we can discard some cards with this, which I got some good ones to discard. Now, we don't want them to play Narset because that shuts down this ability. Iteration's okay. If it's paired with a removal spell, it's less good. Okay. Their deck seems awesome, too. Not gonna lie. Okay. Some of these are just far too big of haymakers. Let's get rid of these 2 Nicol Boluses. Alright, then we will attack. And it is set to red, so we can resolve Narset here too, which is nice. And I'm gonna... We really want to try to find fires. These games look a lot different when we have fires versus when we don't. Chandra, Teferi... I think I want it to Teferi. Then we'll say go. Still next turn, we can basically cast nothing. Nothing that really matters unless we get a land. But then we got some things in the ice. I kind of doubt they're going to be able to flip. But if they do, it's just not the biggest deal. They just kill Narset. They know about Teferi, though, so can't really just run that in to like a mystical dispute or something. They didn't put it on blue last time, so honestly, I highly doubt they have it. Discards the cruise, exiles this, activate. I think Expressive is the better card here. Now we're going to go to attack. Hiya. Okay. Now it's another weird spot. Like I could play Elspeth, but they can flip. I could play King Ken, but if they flip, like everything revolves around Thing right now. So I could just start with Expressive Iteration and wait for them to deal with the other stuff, I guess. Not in love with it. Okay, there is fires. So let's put this to hand, this here. We're going to cast fires this turn. Might as well cast the card that facilitates, even though we can't cast anything else this turn because that was our second spell. So it is more of just a trap card. I will put it on top, though. Then we'll say go. Now let's see how aggressive they want to get. Aether Gust, okay. Now let's see where they want to go. To the face. Okay, they have a plan. And that plan is probably to counter fires. And if they do that, could just be another Aether Gust, so maybe I just need to Verdict here to be safe. I do think that's safer. Verdict. Let's not get greedy here. Deal with the problem at hand first. I'm going to play a blocker as well. You can counter that if you want. Now let's see what they do. Seems like I was going to say Treasure Cruise turn, but yeah, they didn't deal with Narset. So we might really kind of have them on that. Okay. It's a little unfortunate, but I am going to cast fires. And negate is okay because we do have that extra one. They've been representing something this whole time, so it makes sense. Yep. That will not work. Yeah, Narset Static got you there. Okay. All right, that was pretty good actually because I wanted to play this without the ability of it getting Mystical Disputed. Okay, so now what Haymaker do we want to cast that we think will have the best chance of being good? And I kind of think it's King Ken. Bang. All right, your go. Now we can do some things with King Ken. Okay. Don't care about that too much yet. Expressive. All right, it's actually looking good now. They're just expressiving here. Because we can go Elspeth and Teferi next turn. Well, probably simultaneously fighting this. Okay. All right, end step. I think I'm just going to put a counter on this because 6, plus I could give it haste. All right. Put a counter on King Ken. Yeah, I think they screwed up by not attacking Narset that one turn. I think it was a big problem for them. Now, do I start with Teferi? Probably. 6. They have 4 toughness. Yeah, because I can kill Narset for sure. Let's gain that life. Oh, but don't draw first, Corey. Yeah, I almost did. Good job, Corey. Thanks, Corey. No problem, Corey. I just sit and talk to myself for a living, you know? All right, here we go. That's dead. And now we can gain a bunch of life, get out of range, and cast this Elspeth. That was good, too. Cast off fires. Maybe this deck's not a meme. Because we're doing it. We are definitely beating the big bad wolf here. Oh, shit. A big fan. That's nice of them. Okay. So, we'll go like that. I love chatting with opponents. That's the one thing I don't love about making YouTube videos is just not being able to chat with your opponent as often because, well, that's half the fun. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Let's gain some life. And then we'll say go. All right, and that's a GG. Well, all right, everyone, that game went a little longer than I wanted, so I do like to keep these videos around 45 minutes to an hour, but I think we will play this deck again, but I think this next version is going to be with Yorion. It's going to be with Azeka's Chariot. I think that's going to improve a lot of matchups, a lot of them, so be on the lookout for that a little later. You know, I have my little brew sheet, my little brew notepad that I like whenever I think of an idea, and then I'll brew it. First, I want to try a wide variety of decks and kind of post them every day. So thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.